Yes, now blessed now. Don't forget the rest now. Dezrocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Signing in once again. Yo, we're listening to Devourment today. We're starting from the first record, or at least the first LP, Molesting the Decapitated. Pretty brutal, right? I'm actually quite fortunate that my image here on screen is blocking out some of the album cover because I don't know if I would get penalised for that, but well, obviously the Headless Man I think should be bad enough as it is, but we're listening to the whole record. I didn't mind Devourment back in the day. I actually got my very first girlfriend in high school to get me a CD. It was Butcher the Week. I think it was the remastered version, 2008 I think it was. If not earlier than that. I think it was a remastered version of Butcher the Week, if that's the name of the title. It definitely had an alternate artwork to it. But all I know is that there's a load of racket, there's a load of noise, and then there's a few tasty slams in here, so we're going to revisit it. To me, in my opinion, this band is overlooked and underrated from the surge of like beatdown-esque, slam-infused bands that at least years ago infested my local circuit. So let's get things going. As always, you're just going to see something pop up in the screen in a moment. You can access all full album listens right now via the link in the description, okay? Don't waste your time waiting for me to upload it song by song over the span of 50 years. Let's engage, let's communicate right now. Click the link. This first one is entitled Festering Vomitus Mass. Let's go.
Voices from God.
Does any Devourment fans know about the record 138? Is that the name of it, 138? Because back in the day when I was downloading like single songs off of LimeWire, I had a couple of tunes off of something entitled that. I think Baby Killer was on that, or at least the original recording. Which is brutal as hell. That's like the best song they did, in my opinion, from what I've heard so far. Brutality.
These voices from God, these hallucinations, do you still experience them?
Yes, I do.
Often?
Shout out to all the metalheads. You know who you are.
Feel violent?
Yes, I do.
You gotta be a metalhead listening to this.
Killing people.
Wild thing is, right, when I started to get into extreme music, I came across this style of like brutal slamming guttural vocals the same time as I got into, or at least started listening to traditional style of death metal. So to me, traditional death metal vocals and so forth just seem like a weak style of what we're hearing right now, and that sounds ridiculous, but that's just because these two genres overlapped in my musical taste at the exact same time. So actual death metal sounded just really weak and reserved in comparison to the brutal like toilet guttural vocals you hear and stuff like this. The only thing is, at least with traditional vocals, you can fit a sort of lyrical line in here. When it comes to this style of music, and it's, many subgenres and variations, you just sort of go off of vocal patterns as opposed to like actual lyrical content and, melodic value. wonder where the artwork comes from. Absolutely insane. One of the things I remember from this band was the fluster of high intensity, almost random sounding snare hits. Not only the tone of the snare, or the timbre, we would call it, but the rhythmic element of them fast bits. It just sounds like a complete jumble, yet it works out so well, and most of that's to do with just the rotten mess that is the guitar tone and how them guitars sound underneath them fast bits. Let's keep it moving. Track number 2, Postmortal Coprophage. I don't even know. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, people. This is a prog rock epic at 6 minutes 17. Let's keep it moving. Straight into it. No advertisements on these numbers, mate. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. This is track number 2. I'm not going to pronounce this one. We're listening to Devourment's Molesting, Decapitated. Come on, let's go. Here we go. One thing that makes this band so good, like slam as a genre, is the incredible amount of groove and lower tempo, just rhythmic excellency in comparison to the opposite side of the spectrum they create, which is that frantic, nonsensical, just incredible onslaught of speed and aggression. When it comes to the fast parts, it just goes from noise to composure, back and forth, and it's a great combination. If the riff that comes in, as far as the slam's concerned, is half decent, then it doesn't really get boring, does it? Did these lot play live at all? I've never seen them pop up on a bill. when it comes to bands that tune and play so low on a consistent basis, these squeals and artificial harmonics, these pinch harmonics that get produced, like really shine like a gleaming light through the instrumental, like the ones we just heard there. This is a reoccurring theme with bands what just tune like to drop A and beyond. Well, let's say drop B actually for deathcore sort of purposes, and when they hit that pinch harmonic, it just screams, it yells, cut in comparison to just the general mud that you've been hearing up until that point. Stuff like that, the intensity of that snare. Has anybody heard Last Days of Humanity? It reminds me of that sound, man. Now that's an intense band. Last Days of Humanity is one of the most extreme acts I've ever heard. Come on. Just absolutely ruthless. I'll tell you what, right? This record was put out a lot later than I assumed. So this might be a re-release. It states 2009 United Guttural Records, which is kind of cool, because I don't think the mainstream's touching this record. But this was brought out in what, 99 was it, initially? And I assumed this was like a mid-90s band. I was quite surprised at how modern the band was. Like, they released the majority of their records through the 2000s. And as far as production value goes and so forth, not saying the production is bad, but it's like got an old school grit to it. I associate the 2000s with like a polished, high quality sort of high tech production. When you see this CD or this record on sale in a record shop, you know you're in the right place for metal, most definitely. complete basketball jersey and 5-panel wearing metal. Quality, really good, really good. All the slam bands are today. Not even the slam bands, the beatdown hardcore bands have got a lot to sort of, got to put some respect on Devourment. I know beatdown came prior to Devourment, right? But as far as this slam beatdown crossover is thing, because when we had that slowdown there at the end when we went halftime on the slam, you know what I mean? A lot of people have been moshing hard to that. We've got Choking on Bile coming up next, track number 3. Hold on to your socks. Hold on to your 5-panel hat, people. We're not messing around, alright? Let's keep it moving. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Devourment's Molesting, the Decapitated record, which I'll be honest, I don't like to invite this sort of energy into my life. It makes me cringe even stating the album title. I think it's a bit edgy for edgy's purposes. You know what I mean? There's not much poetic sense within it. But this one's entitled Choking on Bile. This is track number 3. We had a few slams in the last record. It was a prog epic at above 6 minutes long. Let's go. Come on. My bad. I think we're missing one unavailable video as well. So if that happens to be Baby Colour, which is a possibility, I'm gonna definitely throw that one in because that's like the best tune going. And just so you know, I've not really heard this record, but I've heard that one. That one's a classic. I mean, the bass guitar obviously will be tuned really heavy, but am I hearing little bass drops come in here and there? That has to be a bass drop. That sounds massive. That's one big, bellowing, ridiculous bass drop, innit? Is that a gravity blast? Is that what you... Because it sounds like we go from a blast beat and then it just like goes... It just like goes backwards in time. Like, is that a gravity blast? That's got to be a gravity blast, isn't it? producer went mad on that pan in there on the vocal. Yo, do metalheads even know how to pit to these sort of slam riffs? You tell me, I've never been involved with the slam crowd. The closest to slam I've been is like slam beatdown, where it's like hardcore dancing to this sort of stuff. This ain't got the energy for a little push party, has it? What's going on with the pit? I know you get your little, whoa, your little, I don't want to use the term, it's politically incorrect, but your, you know, your, I don't fucking know. Your little white trash bop on, you know what I mean? Your little Eminem rapper bop on, but what's all that about? Where's the pitting? Yeah, ruthless. What more can I say? Let's keep it going. Self-disembowelment coming up next. Dezrocksteady, King of the Pit TV signing in. Yo, this is a good one purely as there's no advertisements on these videos. Advertisers don't want to touch this with a barge pole, mate. This is self-disembowelment. Let's go. Access all full albums. Link down below. Come on. What we in? Drop A. We in drop A tune. Anybody familiar with the band Heinous Killings? Now, if you're into Heinous Killings, bro, you know you're in deep when it comes to this metal game. You're in deep when it comes to that. man. I mean, this is an incredibly ruthless record. 8 tracks at, you know, a relatively short song length generally is good enough for this band. You just need to get to the point, don't you? They don't overstay their welcome. It's intense music, very intense. As far as metal is concerned as well, it's very intense. The sound of the band, the production of the band, the vocals and the artwork, definitely the artwork and the logo, really is, it really creates an atmosphere, doesn't it? It really, like the graininess of the artwork, and I don't even think this is like a remastered artwork, innit? Because there's another one which is way darker, and it says 2009 on the release here, so this is a remaster of the original. It really creates an atmosphere which is, you know, if you're getting into music and you come across an act like this, especially when you're younger, you think, wow, what have I come across? This is ridiculous, this is so brutal. I'm asking you, Devourment fans, what is the most important member of this band? Vocals definitely brutal as hell. The drummer is wild. The snare tone is wild. Them bass booms are crazy. Bassist might as well be non-existent for the most part. The bassist exists, of course, and removing the bass line is going to like remove a large portion of what we're hearing, but as far as actually consciously picking it up, can't hear the bass lines too much. The riffs, relatively basic. The grooves you can't do without, but guitarists, you know, they're not outshining that drummer, that's for sure. What do you think? Obviously they all work together and that's what makes Devourment, so it's a bit of a silly question, but it opens room for discussion in regards to the importance of who's playing what and how they're playing it. Effed to Death coming up next, track number 5. Yes, now bless now. Don't forget to rest now. Dez at King of the Pit TV signing in. This is track 5 of 8. F to Death, one for the Jimmy Savile fans out there. We're listening to Devourment. Let's get to the brutality, come on. You might have to give me one moment. Let me get this volume. Yeah. If anyone likes them bass line into slam sections, boom, 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 check out a band called Bulldoze. It's not the same genre. It's not brutal slamming death metal. It's hardcore, but it's the very root of beatdown hardcore. 95 New York band. It's worth checking out if you like that style. Here we go. Come on. This has been the most low-end slamming style of tune we've had so far. Just ignorant, primitive riffs throughout this one. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. That snare is crazy. This is an age restricted video. So if you've managed to actually get onto this reaction, congratulations, you're at the very least posing as over 18 years old. Let's just music, bro. Oh, do you know what's... Well, I don't even know. I can't even comment. I assume most of these gangster, these new age drill videos and so forth aren't actually age restricted. So you can promote real life killing, but no, you can't. Well, I think it's all energy as one. I still think this style of music, if you listen to it on a regular basis, you won't become a murderer, but you're going to have sour thoughts. You know what I mean? A sour perspective on reality, but... You know, I don't think many people are going to be too influenced by some guy just gurgling over some heavy riffs, you know? And this doesn't get pushed into the mainstream like the other stuff does, which is quite bizarre when you think about it, right? Brutality. More and more and more. That was fucked to death. Yo, I shouldn't have even said it, but considering we're age restricted already, fuck it. We got Devour the... I think this has been a misspelling on this one. Devour the Demand? What's he on about? Is this like a salesman song or something? Come on now, we need to get the real title for this. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. We're trying to find the real title for this. It can't be called Devour the Demand. The hell does that mean? Devour the Demand? What? Alright, this is track 6 of 8. Devourment have done a little salesman song coming up here. Devour the Demand. Come on, let's go. Come on. Here we go. When you listen to this band and you see the artwork to this record, it feels as if you are listening to what could be the epitome of the darkest depths of metal. And you metalheads out there, I know there's other stuff that goes on, there's other bands, there's more niche bands, there's more obscure bands, but this just seems like the perfect grungiest band of all time. As far as brutality goes, what you would consider a brutal band, this really is the cherry on the cake, isn't it? It feels like we've got brutal vocals and extreme instrumental that still, by a fine thread, hangs on to the purest forms of death metal. It doesn't sway into like a niche and novelty categorization of a band. You know what I mean? Because bands can get ridiculous, but then sort of get thrown off into a bit of a novelty scene kid sort of environment. Whereas this is for metalheads. And this is just so ridiculous a sound, but it still remains in that space. let me just throw into the mix. I don't think we've had one guitar solo throughout the entire record. Let the bassist have a little bit of shine these last couple of tunes. Little squealer. Vocal patterns at the top of these heavy riffs. You don't get that in your traditional death metal. It's almost as if he's rapping. It's a little more, you know, I don't know what you would call it. A little more rhythmic than your traditional metal acts. I think that's why the whole, you know, rap-infused image sort of goes hand in hand with slam death metal, because in a way, you know what I mean, melodically speaking there's near to none, but rhythmically speaking there's plenty of it. I don't think that's the title of the track, and if it is, I don't get it. That was Devour the Demand. Or at least that's what it says in this video. Let's keep it moving. Shroud of Encryption coming up next, alright? Alright. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. We're definitely pitting tonight, people. Shroud of Encryption, let's go. Crushing the heavy, that guitar, when it goes to the open power chord as opposed to the palm mute. The drum fills on these slow bits sound ridiculous. Just the tinniness of that snare is awesome. proper good. Come on now. Come on.
You still feel like killing people?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. That was Shroud of Encryption. Now, this playlist doesn't feature one song or one unavailable video. I reckon it's Baby Killer. So I might be listening to the unmastered one, but I don't really care because this is potentially the best song. Well, it's not a song, is it? The best track in Devourment's discography, potentially, from what I'm aware at the very least. So let's see if we can find it in the related. One of these days we will do, maybe. And I'll see you on the flip side, people. One momento. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in and signing out. We're going to be finishing off this record now with Baby Killer. I don't know if this actually was on the record. I assume so. We've got the same artwork here, although this is titled 138 as opposed to Molesting the Decapitated. So, I don't really know. 2008, Displeased Records, this. Let's not conspire. Let's get straight to it. Come on. Just jamming away on that bell there is crazy. That's one of my favourite elements of death metal. The rhythmic element on the bell, the tinging away on the bell, I like that a lot. Here we go. What production do you prefer, this one or the songs we've been listening up to this? Here we go. You gotta get low to the ground if you're jamming this one out on guitar. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is pure indie exploitation horror film vibes, man. Feels like it shouldn't have been put out. Feels like you've uncovered something gruesome with this. Come on. This is the heaviest tune they've got on this record so far. Well, I say so far. Of all the 8 tracks I've listened to, this is the heaviest one. Definitely. It sounds a little less on the gore grind side and a little more so on the death metal side with that just low end plugging away from the start of this one. And in a way, in some elements, the vocal performance is erred a little bit more on your low death metal growl as opposed to like your complete guttural, you know, liquid ridiculousness. Come on. They call me Baby Killer. Just absolutely crushingly heavy, ridiculously heavy, fantastic. That was Devourment, that was the last tune. So I'm going to sign out, people, without further ado. Peace, and until next time, you've been listening to Desmond D at King of the Pit TV. Goodbye.